driven engineering, as the salesman had called it, sputtered most unceremoniously, and the dials on the dash went haywire. What the hell? I pressed the gas again. The engine tried to rev in response, but it came out more of a sputter as it jerked forward. Great. Just fucking great. I managed to maneuver to the narrow shoulder. Now what? I turned the car off, then cranked it up again. It started, but when I pressed the gas, even knowing nothing about cars, I knew the sound it made wasn't a good one. Damn it, I muttered as I hit the service link button and waited for it to connect. Why couldn't I even take time away in peace without shit falling apart around me? Good afternoon, Mrs. Moore. How can I be of service today? The female voice spoke over the speaker. Yes, the car won't go. It makes some weird noise, and I think I might need a tow. Were you in an accident? No, it just stopped. Are you in a safe area? I'm in the middle of nowhere for the most part, but yeah, I'm fairly safe. Okay, one moment. There was silence for a while, but I could hear the faint sounds of clicking as the agent worked. Thank you for your patience, Mrs. Moore. I have contacted the closest wrecker service. They say the estimated time to get you will be 20 to 30 minutes. Is that acceptable? I rolled my eyes, not that she could see. What option did I have? Not like if I said no, they could somehow make the driver warp speed or something. I relayed my acceptance and declined her offer to stay on the line with me until they arrived. I needed the moments of peace. I hadn't told anyone I was coming for a visit. It had been a minor inconvenience with the office for me to take a sudden vacation, but I'd covered for Dr. Joyce plenty over the years, especially with his stints in rehab. He owed me. Besides, it was only 2 weeks. Maybe. Regardless, I knew there would be questions. From my parents, and especially from my girls. The time alone would give me a chance to make sure my answers to the inevitable questions were in place and delivered with practiced ease. Regina and Cynthia were a lot easier to dodge virtually. Too much time around them, and I knew they'd start to see through. Though maybe that wasn't such a bad thing. I was tired of pretending my life was perfect. My phone dinged, indicating I had a new text message. I pressed the button on my steering wheel, then commanded it to be read. You need to be home by 5 today. We have dinner plans. The robotic voice fit the tone of my husband perfectly. We hadn't talked since he called to tell me he'd gotten my ridiculous papers, but he expected me to just show back up and pretend as if everything were okay. I sighed and rested my head back against the headrest. Of course he did, because pretending all was well was what I excelled at. He'd be pissed when he found out I wasn't going to be there to play the role of the dutiful wife. That particular role was over for me. The car continued to make an awful noise as it ran, but I needed to keep the AC going. April in coastal Georgia meant high humidity, and I'd be sweating all too soon. I didn't need my edges curling up. Besides, the only time one was permitted to perspire was when working out, but even then, one glistened. They didn't sweat. At least according to my mother. The sound of a big engine got my attention. I sat up and squinted at the sight of an approaching vehicle. As it got closer, I could tell it was the tow I'd been waiting for, though I expected to see it coming in my rear view, not in front of me. There was absolutely nothing along this stretch of road from the direction the truck came other than Madison Island. I turned off my car, then stepped out as the driver stopped and did a U-turn in the middle of the 2-lane road so they could back up in front of my broken-down car. The logo on the door pulled a deep groan from my throat. Martin Auto Body. All the talk from Cynthia and Regina about how the woman I deemed my high school nemesis now ran her father's mechanic shop and worked wonders on their cars ping-ponged through my head. Not to mention Remi had been instrumental in getting Regina's food truck. Somehow the woman who'd never been a part of my friend circle seemed to have wormed her way in, and I wasn't sure how I felt about it. Remi Martin, the woman who, with a few choice words or dismissive glances, had the uncanny ability to make me question all I believed to be important. The clothes and other material things I'd put so much importance on, she disregarded, and her lack of caring had always irked me. But it had been that same aloofness that had drawn me to her.